Welcome to Film Bluffs, a place for free-range, non-GMO, dog water opinions. So come on in, take a seat, and let's make fun of the kid with no internet. Music fades in. Pow, chicka, pow, chicka, pow, chicka, pow. Hey guys, have you ever seen an episode get ruined this fast before? Alright guys, now look shocked. Marshall's going to be bleeping all of this out so the audience won't know what we're saying, but I need you guys to look like I said something bad and react appropriately, and go.
Are you supposed to be saying something right now?
My fucking god. No, that all that I just said was getting bleeped.
Oh. What?
Wow.
Ah!
You know what? Forget it. Tank the whole bit, why don't you?
Well,
I'm Jobe.
I didn't know what the bit was.
I explained it to you. It's happening live.
Well, you didn't tell me beforehand, otherwise I would be reacting to you in real time, other than saying horrendous shit, like, and then I wait a beat and I go, ah!
You know what's funny is now we gotta beep that.
That's true. We've talked about the Holocaust before.
Not on the podcast!
Yes, we have. Brownie talked about it.
Fucking Brownie. Son of a bitch. Now we gotta bleep Brownie out.
I'm
Brownie.
Marshall.
I'm Brownie.
And
Nice to meet
together, we're your dad.
We're your friends, the
Now-
against.
Now, my dear audience, my boys, come gather around the fire. We told a little bit of a lie last week. We said we were covering...
Well, it was truth. It was truth.
There was just lie hidden in there.
And then we adapted. We changed on the fly. We improved. We survived.
There was
So,
truth, and then prophecy came forth.
In short, we're doing Dune 1 and 2 because some of us, me, had to get caught up. So...
Yeah, essentially when Jobe had to watch Dune 1 to watch Dune 2, and I'm like, I could watch Dune 1 again. That's a good movie. And the Trace is like, I'd do it again. So we're like, all right, we'll watch Dune 1 and Dune 2. So here we are. If you haven't heard, Dune 2 was like one of the biggest movies of the year this year. Everyone loved it. Everyone lost their minds. You two, you haven't seen this movie before. What did you think of Dune 2 compared to Dune 1?
It was better. And now you go.
yeah, it was better.
Sorry, you told us
Man,
to not talk during your recap,
Yeah,
so we
I
weren't
thought-
ready for the back and forth. it caught me.
We
off
always
guard.
have back and forth. We
Yeah,
have
alright.
but just
all of
before,
the banter.
but just
Let-
before you went, shut up and let me rumble when I do the
What?
recap.
You know what?
I can start the summary.
Let me
thought you
start. Hop in here a sec. I feel like I say this a lot, but
Not every time, but a lot.
yeah. Dear audience, I don't know how much the summary is going to help you with this one. You might just need to watch this one if you want to understand the full breadth of what we're talking about, because these movies are a little funky,
Yeah, because there's
a
oregano in
little
the sand.
spicy.
I don't get it.
Yeah, and to get it quickly, Dune 1, Dune 2, they're good movies. That's the summary. But if we were to dive in a little further, you
Come
know,
a little bit
read between the
closer,
lines
I'm
or
that kind of girl.
the lie-ins. You guys watch Between the Lions on PBS, right?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Cliffhanger hanging on a
Trace
cliff.
thinks
That's why he's called Cliffhanger.
Yeah, every time.
I watched some Boom Bafoo.
Fantastic.
That's good stuff too.
Me and you and some
I feel like we've talked about this. He's dead, right?
Anyways,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
yeah,
he
he
had
died.
a grandson
Ooh.
voiced by Andy Samberg.
Oh.
Space Chimps.
well, he also had I think he also had a son.
No,
God damn it.
straight to grandson. It's like
so
straight to
let's
VHS.
Let's. We're gonna get into it if that's all right with everybody here.
Okay, now he rumbles.
Now I'm rumbling. So Dune 1 and Dune 2, the big thing that's going on is spice from the planet of Arrakis. What? Spice is just very important. And up
Scary
to this point
spice.
before the movie starts, the family of the Harkonnens were in control of Arrakis, and they were getting super fucking rich. And then one day the Emperor was like, fuck it, you're no longer the rulers. The Atreides will now be the rulers of Arrakis. And everyone's like, all right, pretty much. And then the Emperor is like, yeah, I'm going to do that. And every other person's like, yep, the Emperor is sending us there to die. That's fine. But we follow the story of Paul Atreides, the young, I don't know, what's like the term for like a prince of a duke?
I mean, you might just, well...
Because like...
They call the other one the Raw Duke or some shit, don't they?
He's Duke, but Raw.
Yeah, we're gonna just go with...
Raw Duke and on. Who's up Raw and they Duke right now?
Christ. I would call him a Duke, like, personally. Because it's not too dissimilar from
Well, he's just Paul Atreides. And essentially, he has been born after a very long string of genetic and family manipulation. I hate you if you're gonna fucking open that. Long family manipulation to get the most perfect child eventually to make the chosen one, essentially what they've been doing. And then they're like, alright, we gotta ship off our planet to fucking Arrakis. Let's go, everybody. They do some testing of Paul, and Paul's like, yeah, don't worry, I can control my powers, big dog. And Oscar Isaac, Paul's dad's like, hey man, I need you to stop being a bitch for a little bit. Jason Momoa's there. He's like, hey guys, I met the Fremen, the natives of Arrakis. They nearly killed me. We need to be chill with them. And he's like, alright, let's see what else. They get to Arrakis, and essentially they get there, and then Paul's like, yo, what are they fucking talking about? And they're like, yeah, we've been telling the entire world that their Messiah, Paula Abdul, is coming, and so you're their Messiah. And he's like, I'm the Messiah? And he's like, well, we've been telling them that. He's like, but am I? Well, we've been telling the people that you're the Messiah. And they're like, okay.
Dude, you're the Messiah is trending right now so hard.
Hashtag you're the Messiah.
Shut the fuck up. Yeah, and they're just mad chilling on Arrakis, and they're like, yeah, everything sucks here. Everything that we got is shit. They went out to go see the spice fields, and a worm came and ate some shit, and they're like, whoa, worm time. Let's see, a fucking assassin tries to kill Paul, fails. Let's see, the fucking Grand Witch of the Order of whatever tells Baron to, kill everyone on Arrakis, and he's like, word, dog. The Fremen leader, Stilgar, shows up, and he's like, yo, Leto, I'm gonna spit on the ground, we're chill, what's up, Danger? Let's see, yada, yada, yada.
Wait, we just got to Stilgar showing up? Fuck! This is gonna take forever.
We're moving through.
It's about as long as the movie.
Are you kidding me?
Summary.
You've been talking for,
2 minutes. Like, you guys keep fucking interrupting me.
At my defense,
I told you to let me rumble.
You told us, known shit stirrers, to not stir shit.
My favorite part was when Marshall was not rumbling, and we were dead silent until he talked to us. And then we went, oh, sorry, we thought you were rumbling. And then when Marshall starts rumbling, Jobe immediately, Paula Abdul.
Anyways, middle of the night, Oscar Isaac's out wandering about because he hears noises, and he's like, yo, what up, gangster? And he gets fucking shot in the back, and Dr. Yue, the doctor, he's like, yo, I might have betrayed you, but don't worry. You can kill the Baron and put this poison tooth in your mouth. And Oscar Isaac's like, the planet's getting fucking bombarded, their city, everyone's fucking dying and shit. Paul and Jessica get snatched up by some fucking dudes. Oscar Isaac's just sitting there naked while the Baron's just munching. He's like, hey, yo, your food's good. And poison. And Baron manages to live. Oscar Isaac's dead. A lot of people there were dead. Paul and Jessica were about to get taken off to the desert to die, but Paul's like, I'm going to use the voice and tell you to let Jessica go. And Jessica, his mom, is all like, Oh, you let me go. The voice, kill yourself. We out here. We in the desert now. So Paul and Jessica are mad chilling in the desert. Paul gets some spice up in his veins. Immediately sees visions of a fucking holy war being fought across the universe in his name. And he's like, that's not cool, guys. Let's see. Fucking Drax the Destroyer comes up and he's like, alright, gotta get some spice production. Jason Momoa finds Jessica and Paul, and they have plans to do stuff. Jason Momoa sacrifices himself. This other person dies. Paul and Jessica just fucking mad chill. They find Stilgar and fucking Zendaya. Homeboy Yamas is like, listen, I'll excuse a white woman, but not a white boy, or the other way around, or whatever. And then Paul has to kill Yamas, who he's been seeing visions of Yamas being his future mentor. But he's killed his mentor, so his visions are wrong. We'll get to that in the second movie. And then the Stilgar and Jessica and everybody heads off to fucking feminize.
Dinotopia.
Dune 2.
DNA.
How the
What?
Anyways, nothing. Dune 2 starts with...
and they go to Dinotopia. Dune 2 opens on Dinotopia. Actually, it opens with Florence plus...
Blue.
Florence Pugh is all like,
QC.
yeah, that happened. No, she goes, that happened, and then the Emperor is just like, I'm fucking, what's his name? Christopher Walken.
I am Christopher Walken.
He's nuts. And they're just mad chilling. Yeah. And then the Fremen are like, alright, Paul's cool because he might be the Lisan al-Gaib, but a white woman, we can never have that. She needs to drink the worm piss. And so she goes and drinks the worm piss, and she's all like, alright, I'm starting to see some weird shit now. And the other ladies, the other Reverend Mother's all like, yo, you were preggers? We've made an abomination. And then the baby's all like, what up? I'm on worm juice time. And Paul's like, no, listen, I'm not the Mahdi. I'm not the Lisan al-Gaib. And Stilgar hits the Mahdi is too humble. He was not going to say he's the Mahdi. Which is fantastic. Then we have a fucking training montage, essentially, for, like, most of the movie. Yeah, pretty much. I think that's pretty much what it says. Jessica pieces out to the south, and she's all like, listen, I'm going to unite the south to rally behind you. And Paul's like, hey, remember that vision I had last movie of a holy war? You were the one leading it. This sounds like what you're going to do. She's like, no, don't worry. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Don't worry. As long as you don't go south. Like 20 minutes later, fucking Austin Butler shows up, blowing up shit in the north, and he's all like, Paul's like, all right, I gotta go south. And they're like, what happens when you go south? Well, bad shit. Gotta go drink some worm sauce. Even though I'm a dude, dudes can't drink the worm sauce. And Zendaya's like, you motherfuckers, this is all for your prophecy. And Paul wakes up and he's like, don't worry, I can see 50,000 futures right now. I'm fucking Doctor Strange from Avengers. So Paul is now like fully the Lisan al-Gaib. He's not losing his mind. He's become a darker version of himself, very mean. He beats the shit out of Paul Walker. I mean, what's his name? Not Paul Walker.
Paula Abdul.
Paula Abdul, that's it.
Elvis, and decides, hey, Florence Pugh, you're gonna marry me. Zendaya, you're gonna be my side chick. I'm gonna be the new emperor.
What the fuck? When was this plan gonna be run by me?
I'm gonna go kiss her.
And that's the movie. I feel like I got through that pretty quick.
Yeah, you know what? For two long-ass, heavy-ass movies, let's all, listener, applaud. Do it now.
Thank you.
Every time Jobe talks,
thank you.
I see nothing but our wavelength go solid red.
Fuck you.
Paul didn't beat Austin Butler because he's sand god. He beat him because Austin Butler ain't nothing but a hound dog.
That sucks. Alright, while we're on the subject of our boy Austin B, was it just me, or did he like start, when he was introduced, he sounded fairly normal. He's just like, you tried to kill me, uncle. I should kill you. And then by the end of the movie, he's just like, arr, I be controlling the spice production now.
No, he definitely sounds a bit weird.
I mean, he's trying to do he's trying to do a Stellan Skarsgård impression, while also he's been sounding like Elvis for the past 4 years. So it's like an impressioner,
it takes
a person who does
a movie.
It does.
It takes maybe a week.
You're Elvis.
Yeah.
What are you looking at?
I was trying to see pictures of him. The entire time I was watching it, he just didn't look like Austin Butler, but he looked like some other actor that I was trying to piece together.
You know what?
Austin Butler.
It was the lack of eyebrows that I was trying to piece together.
I shave my eyebrows.
Those fuckers are completely barren, pun intended.
I take it back.
Let's talk.
This episode's gonna suck.
Let's talk about Dune 1 to start it off. And like I was telling you guys earlier, it's a lot of setup, and everything happens in the last, 25 minutes of the movie.
When he says he told us earlier, he means, 20 minutes ago, not before we watched the movie.
Well, I mean, I've seen Dune, the first Dune, so I know it's nothing but setup. But
you ain't nothing but a setup.
Sandy all the
but
time.
it's a lot of, hey, this is the world of Dune. This is what we live in, right? And so we got to get everyone situated. You got to talk about the fucking Bene Gesserit. You got to talk about Paul. You got to talk about the voice. You got to talk about the Harkonnens, the Atreides, Dune, the There's probably some other stuff that I missed. Mentats, I guess they're
clever.
in there. Spice. No, him. But I mean, when I watched Dune 1 in theaters, and I'm like, this was enjoyable, but it wasn't a banger. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like you go and watch Star Wars and you're like, wow, I'm hooked. This is it's fun.
It was just slow, and it's a long movie to be slow.
It really is.
It's that one's what, two? I think altogether both of them are about 5 hours, right? Or a little longer than 5 hours, I think.
Yeah,
because I think they're both
little under 6. I think the first one was 210, 220, 166. So yeah, 240 for the second one, and 155, so 230. So yeah, a little over 5 hours, which is a long time.
And I watched them back to back today.
Oh, I couldn't. I broke them up.
I did. I watched them back to back on I think on Tuesday I watched my back to back, and I was like, ooh.
I don't have enough time to back.
Yeah, the first one's definitely. I wouldn't describe it as a slog. It's slow, but the world around it keeps it interesting enough that you want to see the next thing. And that's how it was for me. It's I don't know what's going on the first time I watched it, but it was interesting. What, Jobe? Did you not like it? Did you hate it?
Wow, he is on a delay. That happened hours ago.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That happened when we first started doing one, and we're just finishing it. Dune 1 did not do a good job at making me care about the characters. It was my first issue with it. They kind of make it seem like there's a lot of stakes in it, and I just don't feel personally attached to what's at stake here. Because Paul's dad dies, and I go, okay, guy's dead,
and then Jason Momoa dies, and I go, okay.
That I think was the most impactful death in that,
which sucks because
I do think they do a decent enough job at setting up Paul and Jason Momoa's character and their relationship together that.
Because they kiss a lot.
They do kiss 6 times before he dies. So that part I feel like.
Wait, hold on, real quick, please. It reminds me of in Dune 2 when the Duke is like, my nephew, you will be given Arrakis. Come here. And then Austin Butler's like, that ain't a smooch. Let me show you how to smooch.
Well, I think the Baron, it looks like he kisses Elvis on the cheek, and then Elvis goes, no, give me
some sugar, baby.
I'm not leaving this planet to go to Desert Town unless I get some lips on these
I ain't
lips.
going to Terrorist Town. There's a Terror Town.
So real Dune
I
heads
don't remember.
know that you gotta mention the Duncan Idaho character, not only for him to have the most basic name in this crazy world, but for further down the line when Leto Atreides 2 eats all the sandworms and becomes a big worm and starts making a bunch of Duncan Idaho clones and shipping them off across the universe.
Mm-hmm. My thing is
This
just
is-
like all
That's
these.
push-
Oh, he's chipping away.
He's
Skippity.
trying to communicate
Oh.
with his PS1 ass graphics. Look at him.
There he is. My thing is, there's a lot of people who have these really cool names like Stilgar and Chani and whatever Josh Brolin is.
Gurney.
Like they have like weird names, and then there's Paul and Jessica, like the
Right.
whitest fucking names on the planet.
Yeah, they truly are the white people of the universe.
Then you have Duncan Idaho.
Duncan Idaho.
Duncan
that is
Idaho.
pretty white. But-
It sounds like if you asked like an Asian person, like, come up with a white person name, they'd be
Yeah.
like, Duncan Idaho.
Chad,
I
Ohio.
mean, it works.
Chad, Ohio. That
Duncan
is
Idaho.
that has a powerful aura about it. Chat. Send your OCs. It's just
I would-
regular first name, state last
I
name.
would give anything to be Chad, Ohio on Arrakis, which we learn in Dune 2 is just called Dune. And I wanna ask, because Marshall's our resident Dune expert. Paul and the Atreides family, they're speaking just like, do they call it English? Do they call it common in this? Like basic? I
It's
assume it's
English.
just English.
I don't know.
But you're telling me they go to a sand place with all
Yeah.
these big sandy hills and they go Arrakis, and then they meet the natives who have a very different language and they go, what is it in your tongue? And they go, it's Dune. It's because of the sand dunes.
My Dune.
I mean, probably.
In the ancient tongue, the ancient tongue is English.
Of Iceland and Greenland.
Well, yeah,
You know,
but
like,
that's
yo.
humans being stupid and young. And this, we're in the future.
10,000 years.
They're
That's their planet.
Like, hello, desert people. What is your native language?
What's
And they're like,
wild to me,
it sounds like this. That's English. Fuck.
so the Atreides, and I assume everyone under the Emperor's rule, they're all human, right?
He refers to him as human.
But the Freemen aren't, despite...
They're
No,
they're Dunians.
They are human.
Yeah, they're.
I feel like the Fremen, though, they do call as like, look at this, the human will never survive.
Well, I think they put themselves as that, but like when he's talking about south of Arrakis, where there's a big sandstorms and nobody's supposed to live there, the Emperor goes, "There's human activity there." So I think he looks at them, sees that they're pretty much just look like him but darker, and go, humans.
Think about
I wish
it.
we could have
like,
done that years
you know,
ago.
those, like, old. You know, think about those like old West movies or like something like that. It's kind of what I've been thinking of, where it's like it's the Native Americans and like the white guy.
Yeah.
You know,
Like
they're both humans, but some of the Native Americans would be like, oh, look at this human, this whitey. He can't hang with us real humans or whatever. You know, essentially that's kind of what it is.
Still
I
got
remember when Charlie
think about-
hit a kickflip over Paul's head. Said you can't hang, bro. Horns
no.
down, bro.
like
Everyone shut up. We got to talk about the best
can't.
character.
who?
Stilgar's
Stilgar kicks
arc from Dune 1, where like he doesn't say anything, he's just like mad chilling, to Dune 2, where he's like, all right, this guy could beat the Mahdi, and then like 5 minutes later he's like, no, he
He's
definitely
super on
is.
board.
The very end of the movie,
This
he's
guy's
like, no, Paul, I am now like your most religious zealot, kill me to speak. And everyone was like, "Eee."
It was like, "Ooh, okay." And
Well,
Paul
that's-
goes, no,
I
no.
love Stilgar, he's so good.
This is a pen, by the way. I don't want anybody to think Jobe's gonna stab anyone.
Yeah.
What
also,
I really
my
enjoy
favorite
about
scenes in Dune
Stilgar-
2
What I really enjoyed about Stilgar was that he was played by Javi Bardem, aka Anton Chigurh from No Country for Old Men.
I can't believe we're not just touching on he was Salazar from Pirates of the Caribbean. Because that's all I can see.
What's Pirates of the
He
Caribbean?
was.
Oh, sorry, Caribbean.
I don't get it.
He's in the Dead Men Tell No Tales.
I hate you guys.
He's got like the black pudding coming out of his mouth, going Jack Sparrow.
I feel like that's 80% of the
Does do
cast
that.
of these movies.
Yeah.
Everyone's just got black pudding and saying Jack Sparrow.
Jack, he was up there. Jack Sparrow.
Marshall,
Yeah.
can you explain to me? So they have armor and guns, but why the fuck are they using swords?
It's the honorable.
Because their armor only stops the fast stuff.
Okay, but I understand that, but can you explain why the fuck did we only see one dart gun and then not again?
I think he's trying to do a Charlie Day kind of thing.
Nah, just being obnoxious.
That makes sense. My thing in Dune as the whole of these two movies, I feel like in the original movie, maybe it's just because it looked more annoying, but the shield made it was a bigger presence in it. And this, we don't get it almost at all in Dune 2 until the end.
If I may,
Yeah.
they're usually
They do
out
in the
where
battles. You see it line up.
Well, yeah, but we don't see a whole lot of it until the big battle.
But they're also mostly in sandworm territory, and they established in the first one you can't use the shield in sandworm territory. It drives it mad.
I could.
I'm built different. Hey, Marshall.
I got 6
No, you
shields on
can't.
me. The worms can't.
I
eat
mean,
me.
you see... Yeah, what's up, boss?
Marshall, I can understand
the
that
teeth.
they need these big spice harvesters, whatever. But why the fuck when they build the flight systems into the thing instead of having these dumbass drop ships?
Too heavy.
It's flying!
Okay,
Dude,
what's
I
the
don't know. I
science
didn't
that it's
fucking
flying?
make-
Okay, but
If they
it's able to fly and take off right. Just have it attached directly instead of this stupid shit where you have to fly the thing in to pick it up and fly it out.
They can't build.
Oh, it's because if you have the...
all the thrusters that they
think
could have
if
put.
I was
Now,
to-
Marshall, I
reason
can
you can't-
understand that they're on another planet, but why is it that sometimes people can fly?
Those are they have gravity suits or something. That's what I gathered from it anyway.
What about the fat
those-
bastard
I've
who's
seen
just
the second-
floating around
I mean,
sometimes?
Jobe, shut up.
No, he told me about 4 or 5 hours ago. I'm gonna be a shithead today. I just didn't know it was gonna be yelling.
Why?
Well, what else would it be?
I don't know. Something quieter.
Okay.
So you have to understand
Quiet.
the Snake
Dude.
Baron. He has a ball, and that's
So,
hovering.
Marshall, I
and
understand we're in a new
it's snaking
sci-fi
around.
world, but why the fuck are there witches?
Witches will be constant throughout the universe.
Because you gotta have a good witch. Gotta have a witch.
I'm sorry,
Halloween,
guys.
You know?
I've actually ruined this episode.
Yeah, you did.
So my answer
I was just
is-
trying to get on topic, talk about Dune 1, and then talk about Dune 2, talk about them as a full project. Because, yeah, Dune 1's a slow burn.
That's
It's a
what I
lot
wanna
of
talk about.
setup, but then the setup, I think, good. The setup pays off in Dune 2 when all these threads come together. They all start making sense. Everything starts clicking for those who are intellectually talented. If you are intellectually stunted, Trace, you're going to have
I do.
issues connecting the dots.
I didn't say I didn't connect the dots. I just
You
we
give
get
me a look.
it's because we
See,
get to do
he-
2, and I
he-
still don't really care about the characters.
He's the Emperor. You're the House Atreides. I'm the Harkonnens.
That makes a lot of sense in our dynamic.
If I'm the Emperor, I gotta hit you. Mass and I laughed in the theater when we saw fucking Christopher Walken come on stream. Paul Atreides! At least I know naive!
Yeah, it is really funny. It's like, that's all you know, is he's mad!
And I'm Christopher Walken here.
You'd have my daughter's
This is
hand
my
in marriage!
I don't know.
Funny as shit.
I don't care enough about the characters in either of them. I feel like they don't do a good job at showing us how we should care about this whole
Yeah, I will hop in here and be serious for a second, but I think these movies succeed
Holy
far
shit.
more in the macro.
Yeah.
Like, the broader strokes are really cool and interesting, but the micro, like, this movie does the thing that I always hate, where they're just like, you should care about these two characters' relationship, and I go, why? And then the movie goes, 'cause they're in love. And I'm like, No, they ain't.
Maybe
They're fucking lying to me.
would
They
agree
fucked
with you that,
once,
like-
maybe twice.
That they don't do a lot of like. This is why you should care about Paul. This is why you should care about Chani, whatever. But I think the biggest one for me is seeing the change from Paul after he drinks the Gatorade, from where he's
That's
like
Powerade
a
for
nice
sure.
person-ish, not like super nice, obviously. You know, like you can see the definite change and his relationship with Chani just becoming immediately broken, which I think is the biggest one for me. Is just like, yeah, you probably shouldn't care because he is now like going to lead a holy war across the galaxy. He's not like a good person. He's just the protagonist in this.
Yeah.
You know, he's the person we're following.
But I also don't really care about Chani as a character either, though, because she even does the thing where she's like, "I'll be with you forever."
Essentially,
Unless you as long as you say who you are. If you're not Paul anymore, I'm not here. And I'm like, cool. So that's gonna happen later, and then it happens, and I go, yep, all right.
well, I mean, it's like, hey, you're dating someone, and then out of nowhere they're like, hey, I'm gonna go, but don't worry, I'm still gonna be myself when I come back. They come back and I'm like, hey, you mind if I start a holy war really quick?
I'd be fine with it personally.
Oh, that's you, dude.
I told you I wasn't gonna do that.
I may have
But
fibbed.
I'm now reconsidered, and I know that was kind of like a deal breaker for you. How are we
Rolls
still
in.
on the holy war stuff?
Shari, I know you made your thoughts and feelings clear, but hear me out. There are infidels.
My name's Chani. Right.
Sorry.
Sorry, Charlotte.
Anyway, Charlie, you need to calm down.
Please.
Uh,
Susan, I'm begging.
What'd you-
Please,
what'd
Charlie
you
was
guys
my
think
father's
of
name.
The worms.
Big.
Fucking. I don't think any of that got picked up.
See, that's how you do a worm. Not like Tremors. That's not how you do worms.
Those-
This is how you
those
do
weren't
worms.
worms, they
Dare
were
you.
graboids or
For
something.
one, yeah, thank you, Trace. I was just about to say those were graboids.
They're not classified as worms. They're tremoids from the planet Tremoidia.
They're finite.
Come on, when they're charging in and Stilgar's on the worm and they got the fucking flag.
Okay. But real quick though, why didn't it occur to any of these guys to do that before?
It does.
Why did it take a white boy
'Cause-
coming in and saying, "Hey, these big ass worms that destroy things, you could use them
They
to
explain
destroy
that.
things"?
They explain that, Trey.
Yeah, Trace, you fucking asshole.
Oh, fuck you. Fucking Chinese, like, this is why.
And another thing, why did it take Austin
Bene
Butler to
Gesserit
be like,
coming in
"Oh, if we
from
drop
India,
bombs on their houses,
guys-
they probably won't have anywhere to live"?
I was fucking explaining, alright? For millennia, the Bene Gesserit have been coming in and telling these fuckers, hey guys, don't worry, you don't have to do anything. A white boy is going to show up so worked out of his mind that he's going to lead you all to salvation. So the Fremen at this point, they're like, yo, we don't need to do anything. Maybe just stop some over extraneous spice harvesting, right? But a white boy's going to show up one day and he's going to fix all our problems. And then guess what? Everyone's like, yo, we picked up a white boy. And everyone's like, nah, he might be the Lisan al-Gaib, the Mahdi, the voice of God. Anyways, yes, Trace.
So just genuine question. Why do they have big harvester on the ground when they can just get a big old bucket and just pick up all the
sit through it
sand?
later.
Yeah.
Well, it's because if you notice, the harvester, it's going to hit one of these, dunk, 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 dunk,
Oh, and
because
then,
it's
like, kicking
disrupting
up-
the spice from
Picking up the spice.
the,
and then
yeah, it's kicking it up.
I'll give you that.
And it's
I was
such a
genuinely
like.
curious.
Do you remember when he's in the tent?
Oh,
But all the
yeah.
sand was on the ground, but the spice was like floating in the air because they've been kicking it up.
Yeah. White boy
Kicking it old
See?
school.
White boy
No,
eats
that's
too
okay.
much oregano and becomes Jesus, and that's Dune.
Okay, but
Just
I
like
really
Jesus,
have to
he's
say,
white.
I know you guys don't care about these characters, but like Paul
But
and
Marshall-
him hanging out with the Fedaykin for like in his montage and stuff, I think they were just so fun, and you know they're doing all this little fucking whack shit, and then you have a great fight scene with the crawler and the RPG and the fucking ornithopter going flap 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 flap. I think it was phenomenal. Plus, there's that one bit in that fight scene where the dude takes an RPG to the fucking chest and flies across the fucking way.
I'm gonna be real. I don't remember that part.
How do you not remember?
I can't.
Dude, it was so cool. But like, Chani's lined up for the shot, and Paul's like, "Chani!" And she turns around and just fucking fires up.
I don't know why.
All right.
I just fell asleep for the whole movie.
Let me-
trying to figure it out.
It wasn't that entertaining.
Let me hop in here. Hey guys, my name is Jobe. I'm 16 years old, and I do not fuck dogs.
Has hemorrhoids.
I'm just getting that out there now. Getting out ahead of the
I want to
rumors.
get ahead of the game.
Getting out ahead of the
I'm gonna put it out
accusations.
there.
I can't wait. I'm gonna get
Oh,
another
so
message
sad.
from Madison this week saying, "Joe, you can't keep saying this shit."
We're gonna cut it so it says, "I'm Joe and I fuck dogs."
No, the exact opposite of what I wanted.
I told people I
Anyway,
wasn't doing.
cut all that out. Hey guys, I was gonna come out and say it. I don't know
here.
why I'm like this, but Timothy Chalamet and Zendaya, those are like two of my favorite actors to hate.
Oh.
This movie kind of reaffirmed that, but it also didn't help in the case of me liking these characters when they're like, "Oh, Paul, you're just the universe's special little boy," and I gotta see Tim Shaw's stupid face. Oh, really?
Wow.
That's fucking sick, dude.
Are you Zendaya?
Yeah, and then
He is the
Zendaya,
universe's special.
then
little
Zendaya's
boy.
over there and is like, "You will fuck the chosen one," and she's like, "Really? That's pretty neat.
Did you see how blue my eyes were though?
I'm blue dabba
It's from all the oregano in his hand.
My
I
father."
think you guys are just haters.
Yeah,
No,
it's
I'm
me.
just picking
I'm
that
him.
up.
No, I didn't really even hate the movie. I really liked the concept. I just feel like this is coming from a thing of this. These came from books, and I'm very
These
much
came from
of
bugs.
I'm very much of the opinion that books to adaptations to like film are more efficient in a show format.
Okay.
So, you know, it's just a lot to throw into 2.5 hours, because even by the time we're done with the first Dune, I don't feel like I really know anything about the world other than there's a Sand Jesus. Sand Jesus doesn't believe that he's Sand Jesus, but then he's probably going to become Sand Jesus. And that's about as much as
pretty
I
much
get at
it.
it. Well, I shouldn't need
And then in
2.5
Dune
hours
2,
to
you
get
find out there's like Dune 2, you find out that there's like 15 different Sand Jesuses that might be Sand Jesuses, and we'll have to see which one wins out of the Sand Jesuses. Jesus.
Makes
Jesus,
me
sounds good.
wonder, like, is there an actual prophecy, or is it all just propaganda spread by these witches?
Well, I
isn't
mean,
that what prophecy
that's
is,
what
though?
they've been saying. It's
I'm
like,
saying this
there's
as a
not really
plus. I think that's a
prophecy.
neat twist.
That I mean, that they talk about where Florence Pugh's like, "Hey, I've seen these patterns in how the religion of this prophet Mahdi is happening in the Fremen. These are our patterns of propaganda," and they're like, "Yeah."
Anyway,
And she's like, "Wait, is Paul alive?" And then there's this Jessica manipulating the Fremen, and the witch is like, "I'm not gonna."
I don't know.
I wouldn't do that.
This is just like Harry Potter.
but
There's
it's-
two chosen ones. We just don't know which one picks up the stick.
It's Cedric Diggory.
Yeah, I've always kind of liked the like ambiguous prophecy, or like because of the prophecy it's getting fulfilled. You know, like what was it, Kung Fu Panda 2, where the old hag is all like, "Hey, a warrior of black and white will defeat you," and then he goes and kills all the pandas. But because of that, the panda leads to him killing them. It's like right after she walks down the stairs, she's like, "You find yourself." on this path.
I was
You
just
find
about to
yourself-
say.
Did we just talk about
We
this?
did. I swear, for the last 3 episodes, this fucking line has come up.
How
He doesn't even like jazz.
How does he do this every time?
He's got conviction.
It's so consistent to want to talk about one movie and then he peppers in other movie.
One other scene I liked was when
Well, because
I liked when Josh Brolin played the Spanjo.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that was
I needed
good.
more
He's
of
just
that,
mad
actually.
chilling and he's like, what did you think about the? Okay, I'm gonna say this: the last fight scene, but also specifically the bit where the head witch was all like, "Fuck you, Paul Atreides," and he's like, "Shut up," and she's like, "Oh, fuck, my bad."
I get why he didn't use it more, because he was trying to be one of the Fremen and not like lead the Fremen.
Yeah,
but I kind of want to see more of the voice in the future, because I like when he does say
is
that. Shut the fuck up, and then just boom, 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 boom.
I know, it's good.
I think that's good effects. Like
I
the
think
first one, it's good.
Okay.
He just hasn't cleared enough dungeons, so he doesn't have a big repertoire of
Yeah,
shouts.
he only
probably
has-
just
he has one
Fuzz
word
Row. He
each.
doesn't have
Well,
Fuzz Row Dot.
Also he's like when he sees a dragon, half the time he doesn't kill it just because he's like, I don't got time for this. But it's like, you need those.
Yeah, he could kill all these worms and drink all
You
their,
need the souls
drink all their
to like
juices.
unlock the power. Yeah.
Shout out Skyrim. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something
girl.
about Timothy Chalamingo.
Stands on one leg.
I don't know. It's like his performance is one of those where it's like he goes from mumbly, 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 and then it's like, oh, it's a serious, and he's like, and now I'm shouting. And it's like, fuck off.
I've seen him be a good actor.
And what?
Give me a second.
Doom 2.
all right. We're gonna be.
Look, I'm
Wait,
sorry.
why?
Like, props to him for saying all those foreign sounding lines. Can be easy learning Egyptian. But in general, he's just like, I am the shouting man now, and that means I'm supposed to be taken seriously. And it's like, you're a twink. No offense, bro.
You're a twink.
But
And a redhead.
I can-
What did you guys think of the scenes on Getty Prime? That's the black and white world with Austin Butler fighting in the sands with the
Oh,
Atreides guy.
Tell
the
him
Atreides guy
about
was
the
also, I
sun
think he was
and how
like
it's
the
black,
fight
and that don't make
coordinator
sense because
for
black
the
doesn't glow.
movie.
oh, well, I'm gonna be real. Didn't pick up on that.
You fucker! I saw that immediately. I was like, oh, black glowing.
One second. Let me look at a picture. I might have been doing something else while watching this.
Fucker.
Two.
I thought it was
Remember from Power
weird.
Rangers when Jobe and Trace mentioned that.
No.
I thought it was weird how they like hype
Oh.
Austin Butler up to be this vicious animal, and he is. But then he fights some people, and they're all drugged except the small old man. And then they're like, and now you're a hero. It's like, he beat one small old man. Why didn't you let him fight one of those big brawly dudes, huh?
I mean, the Atreides were like one of
He looks like a
He looks dumb.
Apex Legends
militaries.
character.
Um,
Yeah, well, he's also a dick sucker.
The Atreides are like one of the top military.
Sucks my cock for fun
what the
and profit a little
so
bit.
I'm just coming back into this conversation.
Dude,
because
what is your deal? If we were to do this on a Jobe episode, he'd be getting all like, come on, guys, I want to talk about my movie that made you watch.
I don't know what happened in the last, 3 minutes because I was looking at a black sun. Don't make sense, I'll be honest. But I don't know what that
Jobe
whole
was
thing
just
was.
losing his fucking mind in the corner.
I assume so. It's like white noise. Oh, he's angry. So
I don't know. This fucking dies. Yeah, that was me. I'm shaking. No, I enjoyed both of the movies. I'm a big fan of the second one more than the first one because the payoff with the big fight scene and the arc of Stilgar and Paul, Chani, and the whole Paul is now becoming this religious war leader that he really doesn't want to be, but he knows that it's the path that he has to do kind of deal. I'm a big fan of it. I like where it went. But if you don't like it, hey, it's not your cup of tea. I'm not going to be a hater. But I do have to say that if you don't like the story beats or whatever, the visuals that you get with, him leading the armies and the shit like that, the sound design with the worms and the music in the background, The fucking was it you know that one?
That wasn't
Fantastic.
it.
I don't know
Love
if he's
it.
allowed to do
No,
that.
the rest of the soundtrack I liked well enough, but I don't know what it is. But the second
Not that one.
music starts going, hi, I'm just like,
I'm not gonna.
So you didn't like The Lion King, is what you're saying?
no, because that goes, nah! Like, it's got
You
some...
don't have to scream. You can just say it at a normal volume.
All right, Marshall. Yeah, I didn't want to sound like Brownie. So, Marshall, let me guess.
Wrap it up.
You
Take
thought
a fucking
Dormammu
break.
was really cool in Doctor Strange.
What?
Is that what you're telling me right now?
I'm confused. I don't know where the. And we'll figure out where that thread's going after our break.
And we're back.
I just-
Hey guys. So some of us had a nice cup of herbal tea and are much more calm now. So we're ready to get back into Dune, and let me just start off by saying zowie wowie. I do love in Dune 2 that we just kind of get right back into it. I was worried,
Oh, there would be like a time skip thing.
or that it was just going to be slow and feel the need to like reintroduce us to everything. And apart from Florence Pugh, not gonna do it. Florence.
I mean, yeah. Florence Pugh essentially just comes in. She's like, "Yep, that happened. Everyone thought that was crazy. My dad is all sad about it. Maybe he left Leto, and then boom,
Ooh.
Paul's mad chilling."
If I also may
Jared
just
Leto?
make one more quick note.
Yeah.
Whoever did the costume design for Florence Pugh is goated. Because her costumes were really
The
fun.
chainmail
The
strip
chainmail
at the
at
end.
the-
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
that's some Dark Souls shit right there. That's cool.
I do think it would be funny to just like edit these two movies together back to back, so it could just be like Dune 1 happens, and then the start of Dune 2 has Florence Pugh going, "Wow, what a crazy story!"
Just turning the TV off, turning back to the camera, and be like, wow.
I
I don't know how Paul's getting out of
That's
this.
wild. Let's take a look. Oh God!
Was it the book from Shrek where he's like that'll never happen?
Can we do Shrek sometime?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can pick it whenever you want.
I'm going to pick
what do we
Shrek
think
2 and
about
then
the
make
first-
you talk about Shrek
first-
1 too.
Perfect. I'm gonna do the same thing with the sixth Star Wars movie. So we have to watch all.
Don't make me watch Phantom.
What do you guys?
It's a better
Guys, what do you think about the first fight scene in Dune 2, the one with the Harkonnens and they're getting like flying up and stuff like that?
The problem with doing this in this format is it's blurring the end of Dune 1 and beginning of Dune 2.
So, if you recall, it's the one where they keep dropping the bodies off the cliff after they get sniped. I think. All right.
Man,
I don't know. I don't really have a good reason. I mean, I have a couple smaller reasons, but I don't have like an overarching reason. But the fight scenes in these movies they don't make me soil myself.
I like the bigger fight scenes better because there's too much going on to focus on the not as optimal choreography.
I think my problem is every fight scene, because everyone uses swords. And the guy with the sword, what's interesting about him is he's really strong, right?
Yeah.
So there's layers. No, every fight scene. All right, Trace,
Like
for
an
demonstration
ogre.
purposes,
Yeah.
you just come in with an overhead swing with your right hand, real slow. It's cha, and then it comes to the next guy. Cha.
Yeah, that's.
And then it goes to the next guy. Cha, cha.
I get that, like Josh Brolin, and this is more to do with
Josh Brolin.
This is more to do with Dune 2 and when he's coming up on Drax the Destroyer. I get that he's a really skilled warrior, but it doesn't show skilled. It just shows, like he swings, stab, swing, stab, and it just shows, okay, you look like you're a revered knight beating up a bunch of farmers in medieval times rather than fighting actual, trained warriors. And then we get to the guy who's supposed to be a trained warrior, has these really cool whips that he's just like swinging around, and he gets stabbed in the throat in like 2 seconds, and I'm just like, oh, I thought that was going to be a cooler fight scene.
I mean, I see what you are saying, that you wanted something more from that, but at the same time, it's like, for me, I like it because it's like, you can just see like the Atreides clan family is so much higher quality than the Harkonnens. I mean, you already kind of see that with they've been talking about, they have like bad water in them with all these chemicals, and they just don't look good. They're throwing up. They're not like the greatest of stock. And seeing Gurney, who is like one of the elite in the whole universe, right? Just like fucking waltz his way through and just kick the shit out of everyone. It's just like fantastic.
Well, that's why I don't mind that part so much, because in a large scale thing, probably it's going to be hard to tell what's going on around you. It's dark and it's probably not great to see, and you're just seeing like this one guy, he walks up to you and you got to take a second to realize, and he's already stabbed you. That part I can forgive a little bit because there's a lot going on to focus on a battlefield. But then he calls out Drax the Destroyer, and he turns around and goes, "Ah ha ha, you're alive." And he went, let's fight. And then he's like, "Yeah, let's." And then he has a much longer ranged weapon, which is immediately rendered a moot point. And then he just goes in for the throat stab, and he's just like, "Ah, fuck, I died, didn't I?" And he's like, "Damn straight." Thunk. I just want that to be a big
I like how Gurney and Paul like meet up, and Gurney's like, "How you doing, Paul?" Paul's like, "I'm good, Gurney. How are you?" Gurney's like, "Hey, I know where the nukes are."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh,
the family nukes,
and
of course."
Gurney's like, he's like, "Cool." And Gurney's like, "Are you telling me there's like 20 bajillion thousand Fremen that are ready to lead a holy war against the world, and you're not with them right now, leading them?" And Paul's like, "No, because I really don't want to do that and lead a war across the galaxy." And Gurney's like, "We have the nukes. Fuck them. We'll kill everyone." And Paul's like, "Hey, Gurney, you want to like pump the brakes a little, boss?"
You're telling me you could have an army of millions and you don't? Yeah, I'm just really liking getting this spice from the sand. That's where I'm at. I'm loving this low key dude guy life. And he's like,
"It seems so boring."
No, be a warlord. And he's like, "All right, but I gotta bang Zendaya first, and then we can go ahead."
I have one quick question. So if you're
or is this a bad question?
So in Fremen culture, they're big on like conserving water, right? Like they're like, "Don't cry."
Yeah.
And it like licks off her face or whatever. So if you bust a nut, are you supposed to drink it back up?
It never goes to waste because they just never pull out.
Then how? They have to have porked at least 15, maybe 12 times.
That's why each time whoever's getting dumped in does a handstand so it doesn't fall out. They bury half their body in the sand.
What happens if you have a wet dream, though?
Do
you just like wring the sheet out over you?
So that was a genuine question hidden in a shitty question, Marshall. What's your answer?
Go on, then.
Tell us, Timothy Chalamet.
I don't know. They didn't discuss this in the movies, and I've only watched the movies. Yes, Joe.
Fuck.
Yes. Can we talk about the one guy that's flying out, Jessica and Paul? The Harkonnen who's just like, "Oi, what are you talking to me for?" He's just like a short little fat guy. He was great. I loved him. I wish he didn't die immediately.
Good. Is that the one who's kind of deaf a bit?
Yeah, he's like, "What are you talking about?" Smacks him around. "Now, teach you."
I'm just trying to say he's deaf.
Jessica's doing her little fucking hand sign shit with one hand.
Their sign language, you mean?
No, it's shadow clone jutsu.
Oh, yeah, that's why she was suddenly along when she got stabbed.
Trace, you had a question.
Oh, less of a question and more of, I was thinking about Timothée Chalamet, and then I realized he's in Willy Wonka, or Charlie, I don't remember it's Wonka.
It's Wonka.
Just Wonka. And then I realized there's small people in Wonka. Lack of small people in Dune. I want more small people.
There's only one small person in Wonka, I think. It's only Hugh Grant's character.
Well, yeah, but like we know of
And in Dune 2, you have the short lady who goes and grabs the baby worm out of the ground to extract the sauce.
She was just a little bow-legged.
Yeah, she's just short.
No, she was definitely a lot.
She's like 5'3". That's her only issue.
Got it.
Well, yeah.
Yes, back to Jobe.
I just wanted to... So I was watching the movie, and then the one witch...
Really? We all did that.
So I was watching...
Yeah, go on, Jobe.
And Dunk 2, one of the witches, the one that gets a load dumped in her via Austin Butler, you remember?
Yes.
Help us. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw her and I was like, she looks familiar, and then I looked it up. Turns out she's the one who did the motion capture for the character Fragile in Death Stranding.
I'm not going to know who that is off the top of my head.
Well... I do. So for all my gamers out there, I see you. Put your penis away.
Oh,
hey,
it's not the type of content.
My fucking foot.
That's pretty good.
At least he's kind enough to respond.
He responds in kind.
He sounds like Timothée Chalamet when he's yelling at everyone.
That's true. No, but that sounds like Timothée Chalamet speaking like 3 times at the same time. For he is legion, for he is many.
He goes, pass me the water.
And then Jessica's like, you need to work on your tone a little. You're a little pitchy.
And he's like, all right, fine. Give me the drink.
I don't know. I will say I like runes drawn on the face of shaman is always a cool design.
I think we need more
I love how it's
Timothée
like
Chalamet eating sand to get the raw
Jessica's
spice.
like, hey, all right, I'm gonna drink the sauce so you guys will accept me. And then 15 minutes later, she's like, yeah, let's me and the baby, we're gonna indoctrinate everybody. I think let's get some tats. We're gonna go full native here. It's everything for Paul.
I wish we could have seen her do that a little bit more. Like she just kind of says she's gonna do that, and then next time we see her,
like one clip where she's walking among the people and going, so my son though,
yeah, I want to see how she convinced the non-believers to become non-believers.
Yeah, because like if you believe the prophecy and it's like this is the mother of what do they call him, Leon Kennedy, Liam Neeson, like. She goes, I'm the mother of Liam Neeson, and they're like, yes, Reverend Mother. And then she goes, so anyway, my baby says you guys should follow my son.
My baby is thinking you guys are cringe.
Even the most devout followers have to kind of at one point go,
my baby said you have L-Risk, Skibbity Ohio toilet.
Okay, I wasn't going to go there.
I mean, they have that one scene... after he rides the worm and the lady rolls up and she's like,
the last worm.
the white boy rode a big ass fucking worm, and then Rebecca's like, hey, didn't the prophecy say that Lisan al-Daib will be chosen by Shai Hulud and ride the worm?
We're up Shai in the
and they're like, fuck, you're right.
I will say,
fuck you guys.
I will say, while worm riding is really cool, it doesn't really show. Like, are they supposed to?
Oh, sorry.
To get off? No, they just ride the worm around in circles until it gets tired and they just hop off. That is legitimately the way they do that.
That wasn't what I was going to ask, but
that ruins your whole day.
You
can't schedule around when the worm is going to get tired.
That could be hours. Those things are huge.
Actually, I understand it's a fantasy movie and everything, but how the fuck do giant worms survive in this environment? What do they eat to sustain that mass?
Sand.
Giant shit. I mean, they're the trawlers.
My thing was, are they actually are they just using that to brace themselves? Are they actually turning? Because we never see them like pull at all. They're just kind of like
No. So you saw the hooks go in,
Yeah.
and it hooks and it pulls up on the flap, and that's where it's like breathing.
Right.
So if it breathes, or like to get the air in, you close essentially, you pull, and it'll just go one way or go the other way to open up the vents, or it's something, or it's the opposite, where if it opens up, it doesn't like that, so it's going to turn that way. Okay, neither do you. You guys ask me the fucking questions, but that's
Yeah, but I'm not acting like an expert.
Pull. Well, I was giving you the best answer I had.
Yeah, and I was I was enveloped.
Would
in the
throw a
answer.
shuriken in its mouth.
To me, it was mainly just a thing of like, it must be like really micro movement, because we just like, I would expect more of a, if we want to know, we don't see them turning a lot, but if we did, I would expect kind of like a, all right, we're going this way, and like more of a effort to it, but they are always just kind of going forward.
They're
So
just pulling the flat. They're just pulling the flat back. Like,
That's fair.
it's not like a
I
lot.
remember when I pulled a flat
go on,
back.
Joe.
I knew that was going to come at some point.
I
But yeah, he does look like
Dude.
he's just like on a Harley the whole
Fuck.
time, where he's just like, "Arr."
Fuck Timothy Chalamet. He
Dude,
did
it's
not
bad.
win that fight.
Dude, that scene where he that scene where he rides the worm is badass. You guys suck.
No, I'm not saying it's not cool. I think it like
Jobe sucks.
like we see those like
Yeah.
we first see those 3 worms just like and like going, and I'm like, wow, 3 whole worms? That's pretty good. They're gonna destroy that. And then we see like 17 more worms riding it as a wall, and I'm like, ah, shit, that's actually kind of badass. That part I think is pretty deep.
I love how the Cybercar comes up in the fight, and he's all like, "Hey, Emperor, we should leave." And Baron's like, "No, the storm's fine. The storm's fine. Don't worry about it." And then 5 minutes later, they're like, we really fucked it up, didn't we?"
They didn't know that the storm wasn't referring to the sandstorm, but the storm of the Fremen people.
So, I guess,
Oh.
dear
Literary
audience,
analysis.
I apologize for me being a little shithead this episode.
It's
Yeah, you're kind of an asshole for no reason.
Consider the reason.
Okay.
It was funny.
I even asked him earlier when he said he's gonna be shit. I was like, "What? Did you just not like
Was
any of
it-
the movies?" And he's just like, "No, they were fine." And then gave him nothing else. I was like, "All right, fair."
Yeah. I just wanted to really put my opinions up in the air, as you want to do with your
Really?
review show. Marshall, if you had to guess, what are my scores?
My scores.
A 6 and a 7.
Ooh, close. I give it a 7 and an 8.
That's not bad. So that rounds out to a 7.5,
It averages out.
essentially, right? But also rounds.
Nope. If it was rounded, it would be 8.
If it were round, it would be like a worm.
If it were round, it would be like my dad.
Trace.
What?
Trace,
If it
what are
were
you
my
gonna
dad,
give
it would make me really glad.
Well, my question is why we're already scoring when we didn't talk about the most important fight scene between Willy Wonka and Elvis.
Because it was boring.
I mean,
Well, that's why I figured we should talk about it, because Marshall's gonna have a
it's
very
a
different opinion.
it's a knife fight scene where Paul realizes the only way from seeing all these prophetic visions of the fight is he needs to get stabbed to stab him back.
See, and that is probably the only part of that fight that I enjoy, because he's actually willing to do that whole thing where he's willing to sacrifice getting stabbed, because in a fight, nobody wants to get stabbed. No one wants to get hurt. If you are getting hurt, you are losing. And he's all like, nah, consider
Speak
this.
for yourself. I'm getting stabbed
Stabbing
all
is
the
winning!
time.
And then he just stabs the guy and kills him.
I think it just annoys
I think
me
that's good strategy.
because, alright, here's the thing. They each stabbed each other once. It's a tied game, and
I
yet
think
Austin Butler keels over.
Paul gets stabbed twice.
It's a
So he's actually losing.
like if you look at the records, there's no reason that Paul should be getting MVP this season.
Neither one of them fight
I mean,
very well. Like the end of the
I
fight
know a
is
lot
the-
about
is the
knife
best.
fights.
Well,
They're just-
I've watched the music video of Michael Jackson's "Beat It," and that's way cooler because they do that thing where they'll like grab hands and then they have their knives here and they're stabbing at each other. You can't get away from this.
I wish they would do that. Just stab the fuck out of each other 50
really
times.
really
I want there to be no fight choreo. They just meet in the middle of and the first one to fall over loses.
It's a really funny fighting concept. But my thing is, they're not. It's choreography that doesn't really show them doing much other than he stabs, but then like Jobe comes up and stabs me, and I just go. And push, and then I go for a stab, but then he grabs me and he pushes me in the chest, and then I push him in the chest.
It's just
like
until one of them gives up.
It's just like hack. There's no. It doesn't look like there's.
I don't want to dwell too much on it, but like the fight scenes.
I just want better choreography for it because I think it could be a lot better.
Okay, what's your fucking score then?
Marshall's mad at me. Marshall's mad at me. And
I know someone who must have skipped dinner the way he's biting my head off.
I've been nothing but civil towards Marshall this whole time, and
I know. I'm sorry.
No,
I've got some stuff to let out because if I get mad at Jobe, he's just gonna go, "Ooh, I'm a silly little goofy guy."
And that's not satisfying to me. If I'm gonna yell at someone, they have to be emotionally destroyed.
Like before or after the yelling?
After the yelling. He wants to watch the life leave your eyes.
Oh, well, I got none of that left. Probably, I'd give Dune probably a 5.
Whoa.
Because it's a lot not going on. But I'll give Dune 2 a 7.
Okay, that's a 6. Yeah, Marshall's turn.
1 sec.
I like them both. Like I said, Dune averages out to a 6. Dune 1 is not as good as Dune 2, but Dune 2 is very good. I'm gonna give Dune 1. We'll do a 7.5, and Dune 2 we're gonna give a 9. I really enjoyed it. So,
man, I don't think Marshall's ever been this mad at me with me mostly agreeing with him.
I can't wait until we get to Dune 3,
sorry.
and that's a 10. What's Dune 4 gonna be?
A 14. You have nothing to apologize for, sweet baby.
I
have nothing to apologize for.
Apologize, Dabu.
So, tune in next week. Fucking ass.
It's actually a Trace pick.
What?
It's Trace pick.
Is it really?
Yeah.
What do you have?
It's There's timeline on here. If you want to change it, you can.
Oh, man. I
forgot last week. I went, I have all the time in the world to decide. Yeah,
all the time.
and now we're watching Timeline because I forgot to pick a different movie.
Quick, pick something else.
Is that even good?
I don't know. It's got Gerard Butler in it.
Quick, pick Warrior with Nick Nolte.
I think Paul Walker's in it too, actually, before his death. You know.
Nah, they.
He is.
Weekend at Bernie's Paul Walker.
All right.
Anyway, it's timeline next week. Marshall!
Catch us everywhere.
Tell them where they can find us.
On YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, TikTok, and loved having you here, everybody. So yeah, y'all have a nice one. Bye-bye.